Look at your cup. Every morning, you're swallowing a story I've spent years tracking. A global deception. You think you're choosing a brand, but I'm here to tell you the beans you trust are owned by the same shadows. I've seen the hunger in the fields while the boardroom sharks feast on a 1,000% markup. This isn't your morning ritual, it's a masterclass in market manipulation, and they think you're too blind to see it. I am the Market Eagle. This is the beginning of a deep journey. Start by subscribing.
Hidden from the world, visible to the eagle.
Walk with me, past the bright neon signs and those fair trade stickers that make you feel safe. You see a sea of different brands in that aisle, don't you? It's a crowded room of ghosts. I've spent months following the wire transfers and the offshore filings, and what I've found isn't a marketplace, it's a carefully constructed monopoly in disguise. The reality is much lonelier than the marketing leads you to believe. Behind every local roaster and every organic blend, there is a trail of breadcrumbs leading away from the farm and straight into the cold glass towers of Europe. They don't want you to see the map because the map leads to them. Meet the Ryman family, the ultimate power behind Jab Holding Company. They are the ultra-wealthy shadows operating out of Luxembourg. They don't just buy coffee shops, they capture the entire supply chain. From the dirt in the ground to the cup in your hand, they own the ritual you call morning. Think about your choices. Pete's, Caribou, Stumptown, Intelligentsia, even the K-Cup pod sitting in your kitchen right now. You think you're supporting a specific craft? No, you're feeding the same global empire. Different logos, different labels, but every single cent flows into the same secret pockets. But the true king of the bean, the titan that turned a natural plant into a global weapon, is Nestlé. Since the 1930s, they've mastered the art of the commodity. They didn't just invent Nespresso, they invented the psychology of your craving. They taught the world that coffee isn't a crop, it's a lifestyle they control. I've tracked their expansion into the developing world with a microscope. They don't just sell coffee to these nations. They buy the water rights, they buy the land, and eventually, they buy the politics. They own the very ground under the bean. When a company is bigger than the government of the land it harvests, who is really in charge? Look at the skyscrapers of Geneva and Zurich. Behind those soundproof glass walls, the shadow owners dictate the global price of what they call a C contract. They don't touch the beans, they don't smell the roast, they move the entire world with a single keystroke. Your daily price is decided by a man in a suit who has never seen a coffee tree. I dug into a series of secret acquisitions from 2012 all the way to 2026. Every time a small roaster gets too authentic or starts winning too much market share, the giants move in like sharks. They don't compete with excellence, they consume it. They buy the competition to kill the competition before it ever threatens their throne. This is horizontal integration on a terrifying scale. When one single company owns the roaster, the distributor, the shipping line, and the machine sitting on your counter, you are no longer a customer, you are an asset. You are a recurring line of revenue in a database they've been building for decades. I've sat in the back of these high-stakes global auctions, watching the shadow owners manipulate the futures market while the world sleeps. They want you distracted by the foam in the flavor. They want you blind. But the Market Eagle has the light, and we are just getting started. Follow the money. I took a long-haul flight away from the glass towers of Zurich and into the red clay mountains of Ethiopia and Brazil, the true birthplaces of the bean. But what I found there, far from the marketing brochures, broke the illusion. The shadow owners don't want you to see the dust. They only want you to see the steam in your cup. In this world, the C price, the global benchmark for coffee, is set on a digital screen in New York, thousands of miles away from the soil. When that number drops by a fraction of a cent, a hedge fund manager buys a new watch, but a farmer in the Rift Valley doesn't just lose money, they lose their family's future. I met a farmer named Gebre. He grows some of the most sought-after Arabica on the planet. I watched him sort every bean by hand under a scorching sun. For a full pound of these premium beans, he is paid roughly 70 cents. You walk into a cafe in London or New York and pay $7 for a single cup. Where does that 1,000% markup disappear to? It vanishes into the pockets of the midstream vampires, the exporters, the tasters, the warehouse lords, and the global logistics giants. They sit comfortably in the middle of the chain, bleeding the system dry while taking zero of the agricultural risk. They harvest the profit without ever touching the dirt. I've analyzed the shipping manifests and the secret port logs. I've seen coffee bags labeled specialty grade that were bought at poverty grade prices at the farm gate. This isn't just a business model, it's legalized exploitation hidden behind a curtain of complex logistics and shipping codes. What is the corporate response to this? They give you certifications. You've seen the logos, Rainforest Alliance, UTZ, Organic. I've gone into the fields and looked at the actual audits, and I can tell you most of it is greenwashing. It's a marketing tax designed to make you feel better, not to make the farmer's life better. Those stickers are expensive, but here is the kicker. The farmer often has to pay out of their own pocket to get certified. They pay for the right to prove they aren't destroying the earth, while the corporate giants continue to destroy their economy. The premium you pay is just a fee for your own conscience. I found a leaked internal sustainability report from a major global roaster. It admitted in plain text that for every dollar a consumer spends on their ethical blend, less than 2 cents actually reaches the hands of the person who planted the tree. 2 cents. Let that sink in the next time you take a sip. This is how the billion-dollar illusion is maintained, by keeping you and the producer in total darkness of each other. If you saw the hunger in the fields, you wouldn't enjoy the roast. If the farmer saw the luxury in your city, they would realize they are being robbed. The darkness is their strategy. But the market eagle has the blueprints. I've seen the bank accounts they tried to hide and the wire transfers that move through tax havens. The next chapter isn't about beans. It's about pure data and digital manipulation. Follow the wire. Welcome to the New York Intercontinental Exchange, the hidden heartbeat of the global economy. To the world, it's a trading floor. To me, it's the coffee casino. In this room, coffee isn't something you drink. It's a future, a piece of paper representing a harvest that hasn't even happened yet, a ghost of a bean. I've watched the traders in these pits for years. Most of them have never seen a coffee tree in their lives, let alone smelled the red earth of a plantation. They buy and sell millions of tons of paper coffee every single hour. They are betting on global hunger from the comfort of an air-conditioned office in Manhattan. But the humans aren't the ones truly in control anymore. I've tracked the high-frequency algorithmic trading bots, the black box systems. These AI predators use satellite imagery to scan weather patterns in Brazil or Vietnam before the farmers even see a single cloud. They know the harvest is failing before the farmer does. If the bot predicts a frost, the price spikes. If the bot predicts a surplus, the price crashes in milliseconds. This isn't supply and demand, it's predictive harvesting. The farmer isn't a partner in this trade. They are just a data point in a digital war they aren't equipped to fight. This is market volatility by design. The shadow owners love the swings. The more the price jumps and dives, the more the hedge funds profit from the chaos. They win when the market panics, and they make sure the market panics often. I discovered a pattern of spoofing in the 2025 coffee markets. Fake orders placed by high-frequency traders to trick the system and drive prices up or down artificially. The game is rigged. By the time the real coffee reaches the port, the profit has already been sucked out by a computer algorithm. While you're worried about the texture of your milk foam, the shadow owners are obsessed with the basis spread. They are playing a game of fractions that translates into billions of dollars in losses for the developing world. They are playing chess while the world plays checkers. I've looked into the deep future labs they are funding, and it's not made of beans. I've seen the patents for molecular coffee, lab-grown caffeine designed in a petri dish to cut the farmer out of the equation entirely. The ultimate acquisition is the elimination of the source. Think about it. If they can grow it in a vat in New Jersey or Singapore, they don't need the mountains of Ethiopia or the hills of Colombia anymore. They can control the flavor, the caffeine, and the cost without ever paying a human for labor. That is their endgame. The shadow owners are preparing for a world without farmers, a world where they own the very molecules you ingest. They want a closed-loop system where they are the creator, the roaster, and the bank. They want total vertical dominance. I followed a digital trail to a high-security server farm in the Arctic. This is where the global coffee index is actually calculated. It's an opaque box of numbers that keeps the shadows in power. They control the truth by controlling the data. I found a leaked transcript from a 2024 future-proofing summit. The CEOs weren't talking about quality or taste. They were talking about total consumer capture. They want your smart coffee machine to be a data mining hub that tracks your health and your spending. Every time you press that button on your connected brewer, a packet of data is sent back to the headquarters. They know when you wake up, how much you drink, and when you're running low. They aren't selling you beans. They are subscribing you to their ecosystem. This is the Internet of Beans, a digital leash disguised as a modern convenience. They offer you a discount for your data while they use that same data to drive the global price higher against you. You are paying them to track your every move. We are entering the final layer of the investigation. The shadows think they've covered their tracks, but I found the one thing they couldn't hide. The money trail doesn't just go to Europe, it goes much deeper. Prepare yourself. The truth is about to get uncomfortable. You've seen the shadows, you've felt the digital leash, but every empire has a crack, and I found the epicenter of their greed. It isn't just a bank, it's a system of total silence. They've spent billions making sure you never ask, who owns the air I breathe while I drink this? I've decoded the final set of offshore files from the 2026 Project Caffeine leak. The money doesn't just stop at the shadow owners. It's being funneled into biometric monopolies. They aren't just controlling the coffee, they are buying the very data of your human taste buds. They want to own your senses. Look at the rise of personalized nutrition apps owned by these same conglomerates. They tell you what your body needs, but they are actually steering you toward the synthetic molecules they grow in their vats. It's a feedback loop of control. They create the craving and then they sell you the cure. But there is a resistance growing in the red clay of Ethiopia and the high altitude of Peru. I've met the seed guardians, farmers who have deleted their digital profiles and returned to the ancient ways. They are growing coffee outside the seed contract system. They are trading in truth, not data. This is the underground bean, a decentralized network of roasters and growers using blockchain to bypass the midstream vampires entirely. No Luxembourg bank accounts, no Manhattan servers, just a direct line from the soul to the soul. They are reclaiming the ritual.
I've analyzed the success of these independent pockets. When the shadow owners can't track the trade, they lose their power. Decentralization is the only antidote to their monopoly. Every time you buy direct from a transparent source, you are cutting a string on their puppet. The future isn't a vat in New Jersey. The future is a return to the origin. I see a world where the 1,000% markup is dismantled, where the farmer in Ethiopia earns enough to buy the land they harvest, and where you drink a cup that isn't seasoned with deception. But they won't go quietly. The shadows are already lobbying for caffeine taxes on non-certified beans. They will call it safety. They will call it regulation. I call it the final gasp of a dying empire. They are afraid of a consumer who can see through the steam. I am the market eagle. My job was to show you the map. Your job is to choose which path to walk. Will you stay in the digital casino or will you join the underground? The choice has always been yours. I've given you the light. Don't let it fade. This investigation is closing, but the movement is just beginning. Follow the money, question the source, and never swallow a story without checking the price. Stay sharp, stay angry, and wake up.
Subscribe and join the flight. Market Eagle.